Hi, host Eric here, host of Talking with Famous People, talking about beginnings. The beginning of this video series recorded two takes, so it was a rough beginning, but I'm always happy to try it again. That's the fun part, right? Make the video, freestyle the song, noodle over the guitar chords. The beginnings, even when they don't go well, they always go well, because beginnings are full of possibilities. So if you're an ENFP or an ENTP, you're going to get along well with beginnings, provided there's not a lot of pre-work. As far as chapters go, when we're talking about the beginning of a chapter, usually you're not going to know that's what it is. You'll have a lot of false beginnings because you tend to know when the ends of chapters arrive in much greater clarity than the beginnings of chapters. Endings have climaxes of some sort, or the opposite of that, Dimaxes. Maximum death. Chapters sometimes divide themselves naturally into time periods, like years, or school years, or months. But much more often, they don't. And while those time periods and those organized, structured things in one's life, like school, jobs, they lend themselves to standardization of time periods for their own purposes. But chapters rarely line up like that. When I think about the rebate chapter of my life, it really ends the year before I left rebate, because the last year of rebate, I was checked out mentally, especially the second half of that year. You know, I wasn't even that engaged with the debate team once I knew I was riding out the rest of this year and then going on to be full time at the after school program I was building on the side with this employer. So I was checked out. For me, the rebate chapter is a year shorter than the actual Ray chapter. It's the time period when I was fully engaged with that place and with the kids, and I was still thinking about expanding. I was still thinking, okay, well, they're giving me the high school program now, so if I can keep these debaters around. What happened is that crop, my second to last year, they didn't stick around. They didn't stick around for high school. And I realized the ceiling was low. Competitively, but I understood it was low in general then as well. That marked the end of that chapter, really. Then there's a separate subchapter called Shitty Wask Year, where the last year, before I knew I was gone, subconsciously I probably knew I was gone. And then when it was accreditation, they wanted me to do all this pointless paperwork shit to prove that I knew what I was doing. Uh, well, that's not my favorite sort of thing to do. And I had real work to do, debate stuff. And I hadn't yet developed all these theories distinguishing between those things. I just felt awful and guilty all the time for not being good at other parts of my job that I was supposed to be doing. But I didn't quite understand that you can't be good at those parts of your job because they're fake. They are. I mean, I respect education and teachers. But that shit we do in class, when we're classroom teachers, is fake.